In this video, I'm going to walk you through part 3 of my top 3 takeaways from the movie Marriage Story from the perspective of a life coach. Hi, I'm Kelly Hurd, and I'm a life coach who works with working moms in leadership level careers who want to beat their burnout, overwhelm, stress and anxiety, and discover the kind of work-life balance that works for them. In this 3-part series, I've been bringing you a different kind of life coach teaching focused on relationships using an emotionally powerful scene from the Academy Award-winning film Marriage Story, brought to us by the folks at Netflix. In parts 1 and 2 of this series, I covered my first 2 takeaways from characters Nicole and Charlie's interactions in this scene that takes place late in the film.
People used to tell me that you were too selfish to be a great artist, and I used to defend you. They were absolutely right.
Oh, your best.
Takeaway number 1. Relationships are based on our thoughts about another person. And if we want to have a great relationship, all we need to do is have great thoughts about that person. Takeaway number 2.
That's what makes me want to peel my skin off.
You'll never be happy. And now lay her anywhere. You think you found some better opposite guy than me, and in a few years, you rebel against him because you need to have your voice. But you don't want a voice. You just want to complain about not having a voice.
Happiness comes from within us and how we manage our own thoughts and emotions, not from how we manage external things. For takeaway 3, let's rejoin characters Nicole and Charlie in the midst of their heated discussion.
Absolutely right.
All your best acting is behind you. You're back to being a hack.
You gaslighted me. You're a villain.
And there we have life coach takeaway number 3. We are never the victims of someone else's behavior. As I touched on in part 2, as adults, we are responsible for our own emotional state, including happiness. That entails taking ownership of your own thoughts and emotions that are driven by these thoughts, not in believing your negative emotions are somehow caused by another individual's actions. We are never the victims of someone else's behavior, only of our own thoughts and emotions about someone else's behavior. Someone can lie to you, kick you, cheat on you, steal from you, anything, and yet they can't make you feel any kind of emotion about any of it. The decision of how to feel about it comes from within you. It's from your ability to separate what someone else's behavior means about you. When we take full responsibility for our own emotions, we are in the most powerful place that we can be as a human being. If you believe you're a victim, you're giving all of your power away. So not only does Nicole completely abdicate responsibility for her own thoughts, emotions, and actions by telling Charlie, "You gaslighted me," she calls him a villain, essentially claiming that she's a victim of his behavior.
You stopped having sex with me in the last year. I never cheated on you.
That was cheating on me.
But there's so much I could have done. I was a director in my 20s who came from nothing and was suddenly on the cover of Time Out New York. I was hot and I wanted to everybody and I didn't. And I loved you and I didn't want to lose you. But I'm in my 20s and I didn't want to lose that too, and I kind of did.
Okay, now it's Charlie's turn to believe that he's a victim too, as evidenced by how he gives a full set of references in that clip of decisions that he made about his life and his relationship with Nicole years ago. When he says, "There's so much I could have done. I was in my 20s and I didn't want to lose that, and I kind of did." Essentially what he's saying is that he believes he was entitled to a number of indulgences at that point in his life, but he decided to forego them because he valued his relationship with Nicole more. Now he's looking back on the past and regretting the choices he made, having negative thoughts about those choices, and blaming her for it. He says, "You wanted so much so fast. I didn't even want to get married. There's so much I didn't do." He is believing he's a victim of what she wanted in the relationship, and in doing so, he is now abdicating his emotional responsibility to her. If he looked back on that point in his life and regretted making those sacrifices, but took ownership of his decisions and understood that he is responsible for any emotions of regret that he now feels, he maintains his own power and remains in emotional adulthood. And there you have it, the third of my top 3 takeaways from the movie Marriage Story from the perspective of a life coach. We are never the victims of someone else's behavior. Thanks for watching this series. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you're watching it on YouTube. or like the Kelly Hurd Coaching Facebook page if you're watching it on Facebook. And if you know of someone else who could benefit from this life coaching lesson, please be sure to share it. If you would benefit from taking this work a little further, be sure to head to kellyhurdcoaching.com to find out how to get started for free. Thanks so much for watching.